From this moment on, you will now be known as Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh-ha-ha!
Welcome, brother Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh-ha-ha!
Enough with the Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh!
What's up, everybody? This is D from Brooklyn, chilling as I'm sitting near my little Nano systems here. That one with the fry in it, and my other one, which is a 2.5 gallon, with my rainbow baby pair, as well as my beta fish swimming in there. So I took the lazy man's way out. You know, I got a lot of fry in here from the pond. And I am not one that has ever had the patience to raise brine shrimp. But you know what? I'm like, hey, dummy, why don't you just buy some cyclopes and cyclops and see if these Scarlet batis and my long fin fish here, my thread fins, would eat it. And they absolutely love it, man. Let me give you a closer look here. They are just going nuts and loving life. These guys are definitely hard to feed. The Scarlet batis are definitely a little hard to feed because, if I can get it to focus, because they are so small and so small that you can barely focus on them. But you'll see this guy hangs around a little sponge filter, which is one of the reasons I absolutely love sponge filters, is because all kind of little bacterial little microorganisms just kind of live on those sponge filters, and really small, hard to feed fish like a pistos or a Scarlet batis, things of that nature, nano fish, really love life with those sponge filters. I even got my little albino bristlenose in a little Nano 5 gallon here until he gets bigger and moves on to the super cube. But the cyclopes definitely did the trick, man. These guys are going to be coming in soon from the outside pond. And as I mentioned in prior videos, I probably have 1,000 variations of like leopard, Danios, CPDs. What else I have? I have my albino paradise fish out there, which I have to bring in as well, or I may bring them on to the school, as they have so many tanks and not enough fish in them. I may donate them to my local high school's marine lab over at Lincoln, and they have been doing really well. They still have the pair that I gave them from last year. They have not bred. They have them in a pretty small tank. I'm going to probably get them to put them in a bigger tank and get them to try breeding them out. But yeah, hard to feed fish like these nanos. Definitely like the cyclopes. I'm not liking the look of my little threadfin rainbow over there. It looks a little speckly. That they've been fighting. Oh, he's really scaled up. I don't know if you can see him, but he's really scaled up. It looks like a shiner right now. I'm trying to get him in focus. Really hard. Let me back up. I'm trying to get him in focus. Hard to focus on these little fish, but for those of you that have been trying to raise fry as I have, so many different species, the cyclopes has really been a blessing until they can feed on larger foods like regular brine shrimp. Up until then, I was just getting them used to eating crushed up flake, which I have really did well with. They really put a lot of growth on. And Hikari first bites, as you can see over here. I used the first bites. I even did the tank nibblers. The bristlenose really take to the tank nibblers, but so do the snails. Like in the morning, I'll see like 1,000 snails. You see I have all these little snails in there, and they have not been bothering me, so I'm not bothering them. But they fly to those little tank nibblers, those little discs that you stick on the tank. And I thought my bristlenose are probably not even eating as much as I think they are, but so far everybody's hanging in there. Yeah, that's it. There's a good shot if I can zoom in on this guy in the corner. Look at this guy. Let me try to zoom in. Beautiful fish, the Scarlet batis, beautiful nano fish. And I'm really going to try to get a few of them in the 60-gallon cube. Hopefully I have enough space that they don't quarrel because they're so small, and I've tried to create a lot of dips and dives for those guys. in preparation for moving them inside. I'm also going to give you guys a look into maintaining these little nano systems without getting 100 power filters, because some people just don't have the budget. You know, some people don't have the budget. You do have to do water changes. If you're too lazy to do a water change on a 2.5 gallon tank, I don't know what to do but call you lazy. I mean, it's not even, you can keep a 5 gallon bucket of water and do like 2-3 water changes on a 2.5 gallon tank. This one's 5 gallon. And yeah, I mean, really, do your job, people. Don't be lazy. You can't have it both ways. You can't have nice things and don't take care of them. So that's the message there. Anyway, this video is more on alternative foods to feed really small fish. So as I mentioned, Hikari First Bites has been really good. I've been using that over the years, and all of my fish, I've never had a fish that didn't eat it, including the fish in the outdoor tubs. It's a really fine powder, and since it's made by Hikari, they've been around probably longer than most food manufacturers in the fish food industry. I feel really safe in feeding it to them and not worrying about it fouling the water. Fouling the water is a big thing when feeding fry, because usually either you feed them a quadrillion baby brine shrimp and they just sit in the water column, or you feed them flake and they don't eat them. But either way, that has been pretty good. That accompanied with water changes has pretty much done the trick. The tank nibblers is also good. Not so much for a fry, but the tank nibblers are good for not fouling the tank, because it pretty much stays in one place. And the fish, as the name would imply, nibble on it. They nibble on it. Or it falls to the bottom and it becomes really good food for like plecos and bottom feeding fish like cories and things like that. So I've been doing really good with that. But I like those as alternative to always feeding them live foods, like frozen foods like baby brine that are live, or even frozen. I don't like introducing a lot of frozen food into the water column, because it tends to spawn algae outbreaks, and we don't want that. So those two options, the First Bites, the tank nibblers, there's another one that I can't think of, but it's a cube, it's a frozen cube. Even plankton, I've fed plankton like to my saltwater fish. The plankton really does a good job at feeding coral. If you want your coral to grow, get that frozen, those frozen plankton cubes. Oh man, they love it. Or the liquid. I like the frozen because it seems more unchemically induced, if that makes any sense, or if that's really a phrase at all. I like the idea of the frozen plankton. Look at these guys. Look at the gut. These guys are getting fat. Look at this guy, baby. His stomach is huge. And I gotta apologize for the focus, but it's really hard. There's a CBD just went by with a fat belly. A few of these may be hybrids, because I have some long fin leopards, but some of them I see with both characteristics. Yeah, and that one, I think the male has been really pouncing around, looking really beat up, this guy. I'm kind of worried about that one, but at least he won't be hungry. So people, if you got any other ideas for foods for nano fish, leave them in the comments below. I'm always looking to learn. My goal is to go to bed smarter than when I got up in the morning. So every day try to learn a new thing and share what you know with others. Hi, this is D from Brooklyn. Love, peace, and hair grease with the nanos. And let me give you a glimpse of the super cube. Dun, 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 dun. It's going to be quite the project, but as you can see, it is aquascaped for height. So this is D signing out, focusing. Blue is going to be beautiful. I haven't decided what light I'm going to put on it, but I'm pretty much sure that I'm going to transplant all the water from the ponds outside and save myself a whole lot of headache and acclimation. So that's the plan for now. You got any Comments, leave them below. If you hate, don't hate. Appreciate. Haters never win, and winners never hate. This is D, signing out. Love, peace, and hair grease. See ya.